Hi, Gemini. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be a mid month check in for the sign of Gemini. So, if you have Gemini anywhere in your chart, maybe you vibe with Geminis, you could be a cross watcher, whatever the case may be, this reading may resonate with you. As always, this is the internet, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, that's okay. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website. Gemini, this is a free form reading. I am not doing a set spread. I take 6 cards across, we clarify in twos, and it just creates more of a conversation. Your guides can kind of take me where they want to go. It becomes a little bit more flowy, i.e., free flow. So, without further ado, let's get into it. This is for September as well, Gemini. I forgot to say that. Bottom of the deck is your challenge. It represents what you're not seeing, what you're not looking at. We've got the Ten of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Ace of Cups is there. Gemini, it feels like your challenge for the remainder of the month, for this mid-month, is being able to sort of walk your own path here. So with the Ten of Swords, there could be endings happening around you. Ten of Swords is like the end of a long, bitter cycle. The Two of Pentacles is going back and forth, and then the Hermit is being by yourself. So it's like reclusing to the cave to gain higher enlightenment. Hermit is card of Virgo. You could have Virgo in your chart. But it does sort of feel like, Gemini, that your challenge here is almost like some aspects of life require us to walk the path very much singular, very much alone on that path. And it feels like your challenge this month, or wrapping up this month, right? The next 2 weeks is going to be being okay with doing it by yourself, being okay with maybe not receiving the type of support you're looking for. Is how I want to say this. It's just kind of almost like solo flying is how this is coming through. So let's dive in. Let's talk about it. You start with the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Wands. So what I think is really interesting here, Gemini, is that you are showing up as a little bit, you're a little bit rough and tumble right now is what I want to say. So when we're talking about the Queen of Cups, she's feminine water energy, right? So Queen of Cups is emotional depth. How far down in those emotion waters can we access? And the Seven of Wands is defensiveness. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, it has a character with a wand literally like defending itself. So it feels like a little bit to me, there may be people around you right now that are trying to offer some comforts, is how I'm hearing it, like some more human comforts. And just some general niceties is almost what I want to say too. Like just pleasantries, I feel like, is what's happening. And you're a little like this right now. It feels like you're a little, you stay over there, I'm going to stay over here. Why? What's going on? Yeah, Four of Cups. Some of you guys are just kind of like, you're kind of tapped out, is what I want to say here. You have the Sun and the Five of Pentacles. So this is a lot of abandonment issues coming forward, Gemini. This is a lot of like, I'll reject all these people before they have a chance to reject me sort of energy. And I feel like for a lot of you guys here, this is like survivability. You know, it feels like you guys are very focused on how do I make sure I get through? You know, when we are so in the shell of like hyper protectivity of like making sure that, okay, I never want to be hurt, it creates almost like those 6-foot privacy fence that people put around their yards, right? It feels like you've kind of put this giant fence around you right now. And I feel like the people around you, they definitely feel it. Number one, they definitely feel it. If they don't see it, they feel it on like an energy sort of level. Because they're like, wait, why is Gemini being so like, what is that called? How do I put this? When something bounces off, like a bounce back, it feels like a lot of the people around you are saying, like, you know, they're talking and they're like, oh, la, 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 la. And then they're hitting, this is you. And then they're going like, badoing, badoing. So it feels almost like refractive, I guess is a good word to put here. It feels like the people around you are noticing this, and I'm kind of here to bring it to your attention too. Like, you're a little bit combative is also what I just heard. And I feel like this is coming from a place of like self-sustainability, right? Like, you're trying to sustain yourself, protect yourself, guard your heart, but it feels like in the process of doing this, you are sort of coming across as like, I'm hearing fangs bared. You know, you're coming across as sort of like, no, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to hear it. And obviously, Gemini, I know that that's not your intention here. With the sun, I get it. You're trying to keep yourself protected. That's coming through a lot. You're definitely trying to, like I said, because your challenge is walking alone. So it makes sense that you're kind of like on super guard right now. But no one is here to, like, your friends are not here to attack you. I'm not here to attack you, Gemini, but I am here to make you aware that our actions do impact people around us, right? If I have friends that are like, hey, what's going on? Let me in. And I'm just constantly going, no, stay away around every bend. It sends a very strong, probably not the most positive message I could to those people. And that's sort of what's happening now. Like, you may find that some of your friends are checking in more on you. Hey, are you doing okay? You don't really seem like yourself. But it feels like even with that, Gemini, you're deflecting it. That was the word I was looking for earlier. You know, you're like, oh, yeah, no, like, I'm good. You don't need to worry about me. Yeah, gotta be careful here, Gemini. I definitely see why this is coming out as a challenge, because it feels like hyper independence is kind of taking root right now. Yeah, you've got the the Empress and the Knight of Pentacles. It's almost like oh, I can do it myself. I'll deal with it myself. I don't need help. Gemini, sometimes we need help. You know, I almost feel like this reading is starting to, it's coming out very strong as like it is okay for other people to help me. It is okay to ask for help if I need it. I feel like you're just sort of in this place of the hyper independence is so strong. It's almost like the way my guides are showing this to me is like an electric fence. That's how this is coming through. Even when I try to touch the energy, get into the energy, it's sort of like you're like, nope, no, don't get close to that. Don't talk. I don't want to talk about that. And I feel like, Gemini, this is the way my guides are saying this to me is like, you need to be careful because you're stranding yourself. You know, when we sort of strand ourselves out on an island or out in the corner of a room and we don't accept help and we don't let anyone near, it becomes this like extremely isolating experience where we're almost like suffocated by ourselves because we're not allowing people to come in, because we're not allowing the help. We're not allowing other voices to kind of come in. And it feels like with that Knight of Pentacles, you're noticing that things are moving slow right now. It's almost like Knight of Pentacles is coming through as like a sluggish, almost like it feels like to you, you're moving through quicksand. And it's like your guides are trying to show you, hey, you put the quicksand there, babe. Like, the quicksand wasn't there. The quicksand you brought into the room, you poured, and now you're standing in it. Sometimes, Gemini, we have to have very difficult talks with ourselves. If we're like, oh, if we're being the problem, basically is how I'll say that. I was going to try and say it nicer. They don't want me to. If we have to own that we are standing in our own way, we have to talk about it. We have to discuss it with ourselves, you know, and sometimes those talks can be really painful, right? It's important during this time, Gemini, to make sure that you don't give in to the want to degrade. You know, there's a very clear distinction between holding ourselves accountable and bringing ourselves down, right? So it feels like that's also kind of baked into the challenge of like, okay, get myself to move, but also don't talk down to myself. I almost just feel like this reading is almost just like a wake-up call. That's how this is really coming through. Literally, the devil just came out. Capricorn. You could have Capricorn in your chart. Like, this is quite literally, hey, babe, like, what's around your neck right now? You know, the devil talks about chains we can't escape from, and the gilded, if you can see in this card, like they even gilded the chain around the necks. You know, oh, I could do that to showcase that for you, you know? So it feels like for a lot of you, there's this mid-month September is really here to highlight to you the ways in which you are keeping yourself prisoner, the ways in which you are throwing yourself, putting baby into a corner and saying, that's that on that. I don't need help. And it feels like, you know, the way my guys are saying this to me is like kind of funny, but like maybe you don't need help, but could you benefit from some? They want me to highlight for you asking for help doesn't always come from a place of, how do I say this? Like, I can't do it, right? Sometimes help is like, I'm moving. You know, I'm not literally moving, but let's say that's the example. I call you up, Gemini, and I'm like, hey, Gemini, I'm moving. I could really use some help packing boxes. Clearly, I know how to pack a box. Clearly, I can pack boxes. I'm not asking for that help because I can't do it. I'm asking for help because that task is sometimes feeling insurmountable. Okay, so Gemini, I would pay attention to the way that things feel and not the way of like, well, logically I can pack 167 boxes, but do I have to? What if I can get some help? Your next two cards are the Hierophant and the High Priestess. So Gemini, wow. These two are a divine pair in and of themselves, right? The Gemini, the High Priestess and the Hierophant are literally the spiritual pinnacles of the deck in the masculine and the feminine. So in the masculine, we have the Hierophant, and in the feminine, we have the High Priestess. This is you showing up as like very grounded in your own spiritual beliefs, in your own spirituality, but also equal parts, right? We need some masculine and some feminine. We can't be 100% feminine and 100% masculine because then we lose out on some of the traits from each side, right? When we're talking about the divine feminine, we're talking about I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait and it's going to come to me. When we talk about the divine masculine, we're talking about, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get it. It's more active. To have these showing up together, I do feel like, Gemini, you have a very strong grasp on yourself, on who you are, on your belief system here, but it's almost like you're caught up in the ego, right? When we don't want to ask for help because we're perceiving ourselves as weak, that's an ego. That's not like a soul thing going on. That's I don't want to seem a certain kind of way to other people. Yeah, this is very emotional. 5 of Cups, 8 of Cups, and the Star. This is connected to your emotions, Gemini. It feels like in the past, maybe you were denied help. Maybe you grew up in a household where help was not given, even if it was asked for. But it feels like with this 5 of Cups and the 8 of Cups here, you need to walk away from the old narrative here. It feels like a lot of you guys are... It's like you've cemented yourself down into this older narrative, into this belief system, and it's not helping you, right? It's clearly taking from you. And I feel like with this 5 of Cups here, you're spending so much time looking at the past, looking at what didn't work, looking at what did hurt you, and then translating it into the present to be like, well, this hurt me in the past, so why should I ask for help now? The way my guides are giving this to me is like, years have passed, Gemini. You know, I think you guys are struggling to give yourself more credit here. You know, again, you've grown, you've learned. And when we sort of look at the past, the way my guides are saying this is like, when we look at the past and compare it to the present, we assume lessons weren't learned. We assume you haven't grown. You do yourself a disservice when you do that, okay? This is a moment of like, feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the uncomfortability. Okay, maybe I'm afraid to ask for help, but I'm going to do it anyway. Why? Because I'm doing it in the service of healing with the Star. Okay. The way my guides are saying this to me is like asking for help is a necessary tool in a toolkit that you will need in the future. I mean, you need it now in the present, but like in the future, you're going to need it too, right? This is one of those like just like almost basic survival kind of things, is what I want to say. Like the way my guides are comparing this to me is like knowing how to boil water. You know, it's like just like a staple. Like if you want to learn how to cook, first thing you do is you learn how to boil water. And this is that same thing. If you want to know how to move forward in life, in your own journey, the first I should say, the first place you're going to start is, can I ask for help? Can I meet the need? If I can't meet the need, can I ask for assistance to meet the need? You know, that's like how this is. That's, I think, why this lesson is so important to you, or for you as well, like for your own growth. Yeah, Knight of Cups. Gemini, I think it's also important to remember that your friends and the people around you that care for you, they do so because they genuinely love you. I think some of you guys have fears of, oh, they're doing this to hold it over my head. I don't know why that's coming through. You could have grown up in like a household where like if someone did something to you, it was then like weaponized against you. Oh, well, I did that thing for you 6 years ago, so now you need to do this thing for me. And I feel like some of you guys need to realize here that, or not, maybe not realize is the right word, but start thinking about, what if these people are doing it out of the goodness of their heart? Let's say, again, the moving example. I call you, hey, Gemini, I need help. I'm moving. I've got like 175 boxes. Could you help me out? And you're like, oh my God, yeah, Brian, no worry about it. I'll come over today and we'll work on it. You're doing that out of the kindness of your heart. I didn't offer anything to you. I didn't say, oh, I'll buy you dinner. I'll pay you. I'll do something for you. You simply said, because you like me, we are friends. Yeah, absolutely, I will offer my aid. You need to start remembering that the people around you are the same way. Okay? This is the same thing. The people around you are looking to help you, asking how you are, checking up on you, offering aid, offering care. They're doing this because they love you, because they care about you. That's why you do it. Okay? The way my guides also want me to expand on this is like, this would be a very different discussion if, let's say, I'm doing a holistic expo this weekend. If I called you up and said, hey, Gemini, do you want to come work for me this weekend? Then it's different, right? I'm asking you, it's a different conversation. But if I just am asking for help, it's different than asking someone to like work, right? So those wires, I think for a lot of you are crossed. We're going to try to uncross them this month. I want you guys to really start. It's so funny. My guides want me to like give you almost like homework. Like, I think you guys should really actively start asking and expressing yourself, even if it's small, even if it's just simply, hey, you call up your friend, you're like, hey, I don't know. Do you want to go book an oil change with me? I've never gone to this mechanic. They're new. I'm kind of nervous. Do you want to come with me? That's it. Start practicing. I always say smaller gets you to bigger. So start with small things, Hey, like, do you want to body double with me? Do you want to parallel play? I'm having trouble getting this assignment done. Do you want to come sit, body double, and I'll get the assignment. Do you know what I mean here, Gemini? Start with a small thing, okay? You have the Lovers and the Queen of Cups. I don't know why they really want me to stress this to you guys. The people around you genuinely care about you, Gemini. You know it. When people don't care about us, it's obvious. Okay? If you have a friend that you ever ask them for help and they're always, oh, I'm unavailable, I'm unavailable, I'm unavailable, I'm unavailable. But then you're like, oh, hey, do you want to help me with this and I'll buy dinner? And then suddenly they're available. There's your response. There's your answer. when someone is doing something out of the kindness of their heart versus when they're not, Gemini. Okay, you have an intuition. Trust your inner gut here, okay? Your last two cards are the King of Cups and the Ten of Wands. I think this month is a really big highlight for you, Gemini, of why are you trying to shoulder the burden? Why are you trying to shoulder the burden of all of your stuff plus all of everyone else's stuff? I want to remind you that if we are coming from a place of needing to prove that we're worthy by over giving, overextending, and overcompensating, means we don't believe that we're worthy. Means that I don't think that I'm good enough. You don't have to prove to your friends that you deserve to have friends or that you are deserving of friends. Okay? Just being someone's friend is enough. If we have common ground and we like to hang out and we enjoy being around each other, great, sold. Friends. Woo. Okay? I don't need you, Gemini, to prove to me by saying, oh, yeah, like I can do this for you and I can do that for you and I can do... No. 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 Dive into that within yourself. Okay? You don't have to prove to people that you're worthy to sit at the table with. Okay? But it feels like this is sort of where your mid to end month is taking you. A lot of these like really deep realizations. Yeah, you've got the Hierophant again. So some of you are coming into a new understanding of your own spirituality. You know, Hierophant, maybe you're getting a little bit more organized, a little bit more, the word I just heard was tailored to yourself. You know, a big difference for me as a reader as well, like keep in mind, this is just my personal opinion, between the Hierophant and the High Priestess is the Hierophant, you're sticking to more like traditionalism. You know, it is a little bit more structured. It's a little bit more organized. Whereas like the High Priestess is like, oh, I'm going to do a ritual because I want to. You know, it feels like for some of you guys with the Fool and the Three of Wands here, you may be trying to take a more structured and organized approach to your daily life, as well as your intuitive life. I almost said your spiritual life, right? It feels like it just feels more calm. It does. As soon as I touched the Hierophant, I was like, okay, things are calming down now. It feels like you're really trying to work out all the specifics of your own belief system here and create like a more specialized, nuanced, personalized spiritual belief system that will also help you in the physical world, right? Our spiritual beliefs help us in the physical world all the time, and in the human world, as I like to say it. You know, sometimes we have spiritual problems, sometimes we have human problems. Doesn't mean there can't be a little bit of a crossover every once in a while. But this is positive, Gemini. It's like you're really trying here, which is commendable. Okay, you should be proud of yourself, babe. Yeah, Ace of Cups. Like, I think a big lesson you're learning here, Gemini, as well, is that it's our responsibility to create a world for ourselves that we view worth living. You know? I feel like I have hiccups coming on. I really hope not. That would be miserable to have to watch, like, film that. Just me trying to do a reading with hiccups would be horrible. Anyway, you've got the Seven of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Part of you guys are also going to be healing the inner child by showing yourself this kind of love, care, and devotion. You know, by being kind to yourself, extending good things to yourself, and just overall being more understanding with yourself, going out of your comfort zone, allowing yourself to be helped, also is going to heal your inner child, okay? It's like an added bonus to this, you know, if, like I said, some of you had a childhood where, like, if you asked for help, you were sort of, like, either, like, laughed at or, like, squashed, and now you're like, okay, wait, I can ask for help. I'm allowed to. You know, asking for help doesn't diminish my value. Yet, literally, 10 of Cups. This is all emotions, Gemini. Like, literally, Ace of Cups, 10 of Cups. You guys are really... You're on a very positive road here. You know, you're really... You're doing the damn thing, Gemini. You're really defeating the hyper-independence. And the mid-month is looking really good, babe. All right, let's get you guys an Oracle card. You know, it's almost like the way I'm hearing it is you're showing yourself that you're worth it. Now, that's on period. Okay. This is the Angelarium. It is my favorite Oracle deck to date. I use it all the time. If you've watched literally any of my videos, you've seen this deck before. All right, what is Gemini mid-month? What's their advice, please? Just one card, please. Sometimes they be popping like 5 out at once. Girl, y'all do not want to sit here and hear me read 5+ cards out at once. I promise you that. Thank you. Just one. Interesting. You guys got Apollyon? Apollyon, Angel of the Void. Love this card. Love its design. All right, let's read it. It's number 65 for those of us into numerology. Okay. This card suggests that an unseen force in your life is exerting its will on you. While it may not be possible to see the thing itself, you can sometimes see the shadow it casts. In the moment between moments, there is insight into the ways in which silent things speak. Trust your intuition to gain access to information that your conscious mind cannot access on its own. I told you guys, Gemini, you have a very strong intuition, okay? Your month is all about listening to yourself, asking for help, learning to be helped, okay? I'm going to wrap your reading up there, Gemini. That's what I've got for you. This was a really positive mid-month check-in. I am really happy. I'm really excited for you guys. So, if this reading resonated with you, or my reading style does happen to resonate with you, I would really appreciate it if you considered liking and subscribing. We are on the road to 200 subscribers, which is really exciting. If you guys would like to interact with me on a live basis, I do go live 3 days a week on Twitch. You can find me Wednesday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. There's also a Discord server you can join if you would like to... I was just about to notion that over here to you guys because I have the Discord server up on my other monitor. You can't see that. There's a Discord server if you would like to join it. It's just an amazing group of people, a great community we've built, and it's where I upload all of my updates. I meant to say updates, not uploads, but I post any update about the stream can be found on the Discord server. If you would like to get an invite to that, let me know in the comments. I will get a link for you, or drop by stream. One of the admins? Mods. I was like, that's not the word I'm looking for. One of the mods is always posting the Discord link. So, Gemini, I leave you with this. I hope to see you over on Twitch one of these days, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!